So we want to talk about GiGi's house today. Let's talk.
Yes.
Born, build or destroy, God, equality, power, culture, understanding, wisdom, knowledge, cipher. Get excited.
What up, y'all? How you feel? It's Merch Life J, motivated, inspirational speaker for parapreneurs across the globe. This is the Merch Life Publishing Podcast, man, episode 2. And today we got an amazing, splendiferous, fantastic, super duper special guest, man. And her name is Malika Williams. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Very good. How are you?
That's awesome. I'm excellent. You already super excited, man. Well, first, let's get a little background. Who are you, and what makes you want to become an author?
So, let me just say, I never ever imagined being an author. It really was not one of the things on my list to do. I went to school for fashion design, and I originally switched and became a psychology major. So, went to Delaware State University. I started off with fashion, and I switched off to something else. And so the book came about because my grandmother is somebody that I am extremely close to, raised me for part of my life. And I spent a great deal of time with her. And so once she passed, I was just like, I need to do something for her. Like, I need to have something that holds memory. And so I just sat and I was idle for a while, just dealing with the loss of her. And finally I was like, I'm gonna write something. I tried to write a poem, didn't really like it. Tried to write some songs. I didn't like the way the songs are coming about. And so finally I was like, you know what, just, how about you do something that connects her to your child, because her and my son were really close. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write a children's book, and I'm gonna see, if it works. And I just jotted down some stuff and I just kept reading it over and over and over. And I was just like, I like this. I'm going to do the book. I'm going to get in touch with somebody, and we're going to make this real. I'm going to make it something that my son can actually have, that he can look at, because, they were close to one another as well as me and her were close to each other.
You scrolling on the phone, you watching TV, and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Well, maybe I'll write a book next month, but maybe I'll write a book next year. No, do it right now. They'll work with you after work, and they'll work with you before work. They'll do whatever you need them to do for you to become an author. Go talk to somebody right now. They out to help you. You spend all day scrolling on the phone anyhow. Why don't you click on something that's going to help you in your future? Just click on Merch Life Publishing and make the call. DM them right now. Why are you making it complicated?
Man, that's a great reason to want to become an author. That's a great reason to write a book, to put it together. And when you first had the thought of adding your son to the situation, did you want him? Because a lot of people will write a book and then they'll put it in their child's name, because it's like it's a bunch of different good reasons to do that. One,
right.
Individual income, you got the generational wealth you passing down, and then the clout from your son growing up as an author.
Right.
What reasons besides them being close did you want to have your son involved with the book?
So besides that, he's really good at just wanting to read books at night. And even when I knew that I was having a child, one of the things I said for my baby shower, I don't want any cards. So instead, just bring a book so I can read to him. So that was pivotal, like just having a book that he's in. And then also the fact that he does read, he has quiet time at night. So he goes into his room and whatever book he decides to read, he reads. So now not only does he have a choice of what he wants to read, but oh my God, now he's in the book. And, he can see other people that he can connect to. This is a book about me and my grandmother, and my mom is in this book. So it probably would just make him want to read even more, because he's 4. So he's kind of self-absorbed right now. So everything is about me. And so that I feel like will just make him want to do even more, like, oh my God, this is about me, and wanting to show other people. It's just something that is going to enhance him and just, further his capabilities overall.
Definitely. I agree. That's crazy that he already likes to read. And then you're like, because with my children, like the ones that my son, basically the boys, they don't like to read, but the girls do. So
they're busy.
Yeah. So like finding reasons for them to read is a big thing when you want them to read, So I really
of course
respect that, because putting him in the book is like, yeah, now you definitely want to read it since it's about you.
Yeah, because I can see myself.
Yeah, right. That's a good job. That's a good job. When it comes to being an author, did you plan on producing more books or having any more books put out?
You know, like I said, I originally went to school to be a fashion major. So now that this book is pretty much almost done, I am tapping back into my fashion side, which again, of course, involves my son. But I have been just jotting down and writing some more books about just my kid, and some other things in life. Because again, I never really imagined doing something like this. I just kind of feel like God is like, yeah, we have this untapped gift in you that we're actually going to want to show the world. And I'm like, I never even knew that I could do that. It's really simple, but I also feel like you have to have a heart for it. And so I was an avid reader growing up. One of my favorite books in series was Lemony Snicket. They even actually made a movie about it with Jim Carrey. And I read like every single book. It was like 13, 14 of them. I read every one. So I read a lot growing up. I always was an avid reader. So maybe, you know, you think about it, maybe this was something that was always there. I just did not know. And it just took maybe a loss or something, you know, to happen in my life for me to actually tap into, you know, that born talent that I just didn't know it was there.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because normally on like, if you think about it, whether it's like DC or Marvel, when you think about a superhero's origin story, something bad always happens to draw their power out, for them to realize that they got powers. You know what I mean? So that's
exactly
crazy that you said that. That's crazy that you said that. And when it comes to fashion, did you ever think of having like a fashion magazine or like a book involving fashion? Because if you combine those two gifts, I think that would be awesome too.
So again, like I'm just kind of like bewildered at this point in my life, because I'm still amazed that this book is even, you know, coming to. I sit and every day I'm just like, oh my God, the book is almost here. I really have an author, you know, I'm an author. I have a publisher. I have an illustrator. I'm still just trying to wrap my mind around that. You know, to some people it's so small, like it's so easy just to put some words on the pages and call this person to have them. But to me, I'm just like, I feel like it's a big deal. And so I treat it as such, treat it like God can take this and he can take it as far as he wants to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yo, Jeremy, check out this lighter trick.
I'm really just putting a bunch of ideas and things together just to see what happens. Could a fashion magazine possibly come about? We never know. I just know right now, and I'm really just trying to soak it in because it feels so huge. It feels like a really big deal. And so I'm just going to let God just maneuver and just show me which way he wants me to go.
And that's like the most humble response I've ever got to that question. I promise you. Normally people be like, man, you already know I got 8 written. I'm about to put this out tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Bestseller. I was a bestseller yesterday. So yeah, that was like the most. But I definitely believe you got it in you. When it comes to doing any, like you said, God can take it as far as he want to take it, and I think he's gonna take it as far as you want to take it, because the gift, like it's there, you know. And man, you said fashion, and that got me thinking like. I got the clothing line, like stuff like this, simple stuff like this.
Right.
You know, and then this is the logo for the clothing line, Yark.
For the clothing line.
Yeah.
And that's the easy part. That's the part I tried to get to is that part right there. I have all the ideas in my head that's just circling. It's like, Malika, write them down. I have this like whole Aquarius thing where we start with something and then our minds we have like a million ideas going at one time. So again, that's why I feel this feels such like a big moment, because it's like you finally put one of your million ideas and you actually saw it through, which is really hard for us to do because it's so much that goes on in our brain. We're like avid thinkers. We move a lot. We're always trying to start something, but it never really gets completed. And so I'm just taken back that, wow, it's coming. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
So
man. That's an awesome feeling to have too. I know a lot of people who have written books and they have like a lot of books out, but they've been successful with maybe one book, and they don't normally get that feeling that you have now or that appreciation for it until they get, until they're successful behind it. And I think that is
right.
And I think people like you, people that just are just enjoying what's going on, are just grateful for what's happening now. That's why y'all get so much on the back end, because it's like, you know, you're not asking for nothing, so you deserve more, you know.
Exactly. But I don't want to be seen. I don't want you to see me though. I want to do everything. I want to do all of this, and then really you don't even have to give me the accolades. As long as like I know cool, like I did that. And that's cool as long as I know. So
yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So moving forward with your books, and you know, just being, because we still being humble about it, but what would you in the most grandiose imagination, what would be the ultimate height for you as an author?
For me, this book has to be to Barnes and Nobles. I told God that this morning as I was praying. And like I said, I've been praying about it this whole journey. And even I feel like when I talk to you and even talking to the illustrators, she's like, yo, she keep coming back with stuff. She keep coming back. It has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. Like, and I constantly keep saying that it has to be that way, because in my mind, I can only envision this book sitting in Barnes and Nobles. And if I see it sitting there, what does that look like now? You know, what does that look like before it gets there? And when I go past the store, I look at those books and say, can you imagine your book sitting here? So, you know, that front page, that cover, everything has got to align and be perfect if this is where you want it to be at. And so that's where my mind ultimately is at. I want my book to sit there because just the impact that my grandmother had in my life. Like you said, we're being humble, but that is really how I feel. And I think that's why I feel so like jittery and nervous, because it's like, my goal at the end is to have that like on that platform. And for me, that's a really big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. It is. In closing, I just want to say that, you know, whoever's watching this right now, if you're watching this the day it premieres, if you're watching this 10 years, it's 2021, it's November the 9th right now, November the 9th, 2021 on a Tuesday. If you're watching this years from now, just remember, man, anything that you will yourself to do, it can happen. You just heard her say,
exactly.
This wasn't even my intention. It came to me and it happened. And then look where she's about to go with it. So imagine if you put 100% into something, and even if you didn't think it could happen before, just look, this is proof in the pudding right here, people, that you can be an author. You can do whatever you want. You can put your story together and you can help somebody else with their life just from reading your story, man. And Miss Malika, do you know, you got anything you want to say to the viewers, where they can go to support you, where they can go find the book once it's done and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I will actually have a store on my Instagram page. I'll be doing something on my Facebook, and then the book will also be on Amazon. So once it's done, I will definitely spread the word and just give you guys a link, give you my email address. You can also email me, and then we can set something up so that you can order the book. And I hope that you love it. This book is really for anybody who's lost a loved one. Really, it's about that grandmother. Even if you feel like you connect about your grandfather, your aunt, it's just really about that old school relationship that you have with somebody who is no longer here. A person that played a pivotal role in your life. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope your kids enjoy it. So when the book is done, please support. Bye. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You already know, guys. I appreciate y'all for coming through, man. And Miss Malika, I see you. Get excited. It's the publishing.
Thank you.
Make sure you subscribe to Merch Life Publishing while you're here. Hit the little bell button too, so you know every time we post some new content, man. Get excited. Thank you for watching, man. And as always, read a book.